All right, we are live with a UCM alumni. It's been an absolute amazing experience to watch the journey of Alvaro. Thanks for joining us today, my man.
Hey, what's going on? Excited to be here, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, so let's take it back to the beginning. Why don't you just let us know what was happening kind of pre-UCM, pre-Undeniable Closer? Where were you at? What was going on?
Yeah, man. I'm a musician, right? I'm an opera singer. I play piano, and as a performer, as a musician, you only have two ways of make money: either you perform or you teach. And when you teach, you are limited to 1 hour at a time. So I was in this point in my life where I was, I was not performing as often. And then I said, okay, I want to build my teaching studio, and I found myself working 50, 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. And I was, I used to make, $1,500 a month. So for me, making $4,000 a month, it was like, wow, good money, right? And but then I started feeling it, because now before I know, I was just sitting down in the piano, looking at so many students every day, and I didn't have a life, you know. And that's how everything started, with me wanting to make that change in my life, because I realized that I wasn't getting anywhere, right? Because if I wanted to make more money, I will have to get more students, and that means more hours, and that means less life, right? And so that's how I started looking for something. And I don't know how much you want me to go into the details of what did I do in terms of trying to look for that change.
Yeah, well, how did you find us?
Yes. So pretty much I was going through a program, right, that was teaching me all about these high ticket sales. And after going through the program, I knew about what is a closer doing all these things, but there was no jobs, So I was like, I was so lost, because I was like, okay, I know my script, I have my script. So what do I do with it? Right? So that's how I ended up in the Facebook group, because I was looking for opportunities as a quote unquote high ticket closer. And so that's how I ended up in that group. Because so what happened is, like, I was just sending direct emails, applying to every post that you can see, sending naked, just cold videos to potential employers, and I was getting shit, right? I was not getting anywhere. And I remember I started reading posts, some of your posts on the Facebook group, and I was like, oh, this guy really know what he's talking about. And I remember seeing a post by Hunter at the time, and it's like, who would be interested in, like getting like a one-on-one time with JD? And after seeing all that value that you provided on that Facebook group, I was like, dude, I need to know what the heck these guys knows, because clearly what I'm doing is not working, right? Because by that time it's been like months of me trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, I went through that same journey, so I understand. I think a lot of people, right, that's what they start. They take an expensive sales training, they learn the industry, it's good information, right? But there's more to it than just knowing how to sell. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. And so now the fun part, what's happened since joining UCM?
Oh man, I think if I tell you into detail, I think we're gonna spend here like the next couple of hours. But
Give me the big ones.
just to summarize it, so pretty much since joining UCM, what I learned was a system, right? Like a process that I can actually use to find people that actually are looking for those job opportunities, right? Like the people that can provide those job opportunities, right? So that's number one, was get my first opportunity, regardless of what was it, get it, right? Get that experience. So that was my first big milestone. Was after joining UCM, 3 weeks in, I got my first opportunity. my first time getting to a CRM, my first time knowing what a lead was. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, everything was so new to me. Like, I have never gotten on a phone call to do sales like in my life. So that first opportunity was huge. And that, and having the strategies about how to find your potential client, I think that's what catapulted my success now, because without having all those things that I went through, the strategies and everything, I would have never landed the opportunity that I have now, and I've been in the same opportunity for the last year already.
I love it. I love
So,
it.
oh man, it's crazy.
And so tell me about this opportunity now. Like, what's an average month look like for you? What are you on pace for this month?
Yes. So right now, like, I mean, it's just crazy because, like, I mean, I joined UCM. I got my first opportunity 3 weeks after. A month after that, I got the opportunity that I'm currently in, and it was my second month. My second month, I made $10,000, and like, in my life, I have ever seen that type of money. Like, I think at some point when I used to work as a barista, I was making $25,000 a year, let alone a month. So for me, it was like a shift of paradigm, right? Because in my life, I remember I was looking at my fiance's like, I just got deposit $10,000, and so since then, that has actually been my average. Like, now, on a low month is $10,000. On a good month is around $15,000, and right now I'm on pace to be making my first 20K month. So
Congratulations, brother. Couldn't happen to a better person. And you're the epitome of why I made UCM the way I did, right? It's a lot of people are coming to me after programs. They're like, yeah, I learned how to sell. I got some good mindset training, but what's next? And seeing people like you take the training that I've created and run with it, it just, that's what I do this for. So, and like I said, it couldn't have happened to a better person. So give us the inside scoop. What is your favorite part of UCM, or what are the things that you like the most?
I think, for me personally, I love to take action, and so one of the things that I think I love the most is having the opportunity to literally pick your brain every day. Because literally Monday to Friday, you get freaking calls. You know what I mean? Like, calls live, not pre-record stuff. This is like live stuff, and having access to all the material, right? But for me, one of the most important things is getting feedback live, so like something that I can implement tomorrow or after the call, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I used to do is I would get on a call, ask you a bunch of questions, go and run with it, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. And another thing is a structure, right? Like having actual strategies that are structured, right? So how do you get your potential, your dream client? How to go about thinking about how to create goals? Because it's not only about creating the opportunity, having the opportunity, but how are you going to perform in that opportunity consistently, right? And that's what I see a lot of people, right, that I work alongside, they cannot do it.
Yeah.
They might be good for a couple of months and then they just go down. So I think that has been also very important for me, having that support in an opportunity so that I can be consistent month after month.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're, again, a perfect example of, I don't think you missed a call for the first few months. And the only time you started, coming in once in a while was when you're too busy crushing it. And that is like, I know a lot of programs, they want you to be dependent on them. I want the total opposite. I want to get that message like, hey, too busy on sales calls, too busy making commissions. I can't make the call today. And that was exactly what happened. That's the blueprint. So I love it. I guess, what were you most surprised with after joining UCM? Was there any surprises or any differences there?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I was mostly surprised is the amount of support and accountability. Because I mean, you hear this all the time, right? And I mean, I experienced this myself, right? Like you purchase something and they promise you the freaking world and everything, and they will guide you by the hand and all that stuff. And right after you purchase, there is nobody, right? They just like post something here and that's it. And so one of the things that I was surprised the most is like the amount of support. Like actually, I really feel that, you know, everybody at UCM care about me, and not only feel that way, but you guys show me that you care. You know, like if I have a question or something, posting my question, get feedback right away, or within a time that is not like fucking a day or 5 days. You know what I mean? So that's huge. At least for me, it was in my development.
I love it. I love it. And so who do you think could benefit from joining UCM? Because sometimes it's, you know, you get typecast and everybody puts in. Is it for people just starting out? Is it for people that already have a job? Like, who do you think could benefit the most from joining UCM?
Oof, man. I think the value that you provide is kind of like, you can really meet us at wherever we are. Because even for me, right now that I have the experience that I have, I mean, it's not a lot, but it still is like a year in high ticket sales, and I still learn, right? So, but I think most of the people that are looking for that change in their life, right? It's like people that are stuck in whether it's a 9 to 5 or something that they actually don't enjoy doing, and they're looking for that change and getting that freedom back. I think those are probably the people that might benefit the most to start, right? Because it's at the start where you need that support, right? It's at the start where you really need somebody to show you the way, because this is a new career, right? It's like, just think about it. How many years do you spend in college, in university, right? You need to treat this the same way. And the thing is that this is something that can happen within months, not fucking 4 years, you know? Yeah. But you need to show up like you're doing a fucking PhD, right? So that's the important here. So I encourage everybody, it doesn't matter the level, but especially if they are stuck in their 9 to 5, because that's where I come from, right? Like a freaking musician working his ass off to get 4K, right? Is really, if you're looking to make that change, right, you need that support in place. You need somebody that can actually map a guide for you specifically. And that's another thing that I forgot to mention, is like every strategy is according to the specific needs of the person.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Like I said, it's been a blessing and an honor to be part of your journey. And like I said, you'll always have a spot in UCM, alumni for life. And it's been amazing to see, because I can't stress enough, like you are the type of person that I built with that vision in mind, that someone's going to take the strategies, who's going to have the same excuses, the same fears, the same limiting beliefs as everybody else, but is going to put those aside and say, if I follow through, I'll get the result. And so I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time to share this information and jump on and just appreciate you as a human being. So thank you very much, Alvaro.
Thank you, man. Thank you, JD. Appreciate everybody at UCM, and let's go after it, man.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.